A joke prediction from a new AI. Negative 12,000, 280,000, and 7.2 million. One would be wrong. From my end of the table, I watched the three of them. It was a typical Friday. The end of another identical week at the same company, same salary. Alex was already mapping out his weekend. A new video game had just dropped. He was explaining the tiered benefits of the $99 Galactic Edition. Bailey countered with his own big news. His high-yield savings account interest rate went up 0.25%. He was thrilled in a way that made you question the definition of thrill. Casey was quiet, tapping on his phone. I figured he was just bored, scrolling through memes. But then he looked up, a strange glint in his eye. "I've been playing with this new AI," he said. "It's just a language model, but it's surprisingly coherent. Let's try something stupid." He started typing. I saw him label 3 personality types, like he was setting up a simulation. The comfort seeker, the safety player, the builder. His prompt was simple, almost a joke. Based on these archetypes, project their net worth in 20 years, starting from the same salary today. He hit send. For a moment, nothing happened. Alex was already reaching for his beer, his attention wandering. Bailey watched the screen, ever patient. Then, the text began to generate. A cursor blinked, then words flowed. The table fell silent as 3 specific, absurdly distant numbers appeared. For Alex, the comfort seeker, the AI predicted a net worth of negative $12,000. He would be in debt. The AI even offered a 1-sentence rationale. Lifestyle inflation driven by a focus on immediate gratification will consistently outpace income growth. Alex burst out laughing. A loud, dismissive bark. "Minus 12 grand? This thing thinks I'm an idiot. It's a glorified magic 8-ball. Seriously," he added, turning to me. "I'll have a house by then, a car. This toy doesn't factor in actual life." For Bailey, the safety player, the prediction was $280,000, a respectable, sensible number, perfectly Bailey. Its logic followed: consistent savings and standard market rate investments with zero risk-taking lead to a predictable median outcome. Bailey didn't laugh. He squinted, pulling a napkin towards him. I could see him start to scribble calculations, reverse engineering the AI's logic. "That assumes about a 4% annual raise and steady 7% market returns," he murmured. "It's not totally crazy, I guess. It's just average." Then there was Casey, the builder. The AI's prediction for him was $7,200,000. The rationale was different in kind. Continuously acquiring new skills creates leverage, which generates asymmetric opportunities with exponential, non-linear returns. The silence returned. 7 million. It was a number from a different reality. Even Alex stopped laughing. The number just hung in the air. I finally spoke up. "It's a text scrambler," I said. "It mashes up 1 billion websites and spits out the most plausible sentence. It's not thinking." Casey didn't argue. He didn't gloat or defend it. He just looked at the screen, then quietly took a screenshot. A small, significant action. Alex clapped him on the shoulder. "Well, when you're a multimillionaire, drinks are on you. For now, this round's on me." The conversation drifted back to sports, weekend plans, and complaints about a middle manager named Dave. The bizarre prophecy was forgotten, but I noticed Casey wasn't really listening anymore. He was back on his phone, typing again. What else could he possibly be asking it? He wasn't asking for more predictions. His prompt was different. Give me a 12-week self-study curriculum for learning Python for data automation. The AI responded instantly. A structured list appeared. Week 1, Basics and Syntax. Week 2, Data Structures. Week 3, Control Flow. On and on it went. For Alex, the device was for entertainment. For Bailey, a calculator. For Casey, it was becoming something else entirely. A lever. We all left the bar around 11. Alex was heading home to his game. Bailey was going to get a sensible night's sleep before his Saturday chores. I walked with Casey for a block. You don't actually believe that $7 million thing, do you? It's just a random number generator. He shrugged, pocketing his phone. The number is random, he said. But the gap between the numbers? That part felt true. It's a gap in strategy. He said goodnight and headed for his apartment. I stood there for a second. A gap in strategy. What did that even mean? Later, I couldn't sleep. I downloaded the app myself. I asked it to write a poem about my cat. It was terrible. I asked for a stock tip. It refused. I dismissed it, just like Alex did. Just like my skeptical brain told me to. It was a novelty, a fad, hype. But across town, in his small apartment, Alex was logging into his game. The daily grind replaced by a digital one. Instant tasks, instant rewards. In his own identical apartment, Bailey was updating his budget spreadsheet. Every one of his $850 paychecks was accounted for, down to the last cent. And Casey wasn't scrolling or playing. He was sitting at his sparse desk, his monitor glowing in the dark. He opened the screenshot from the bar. The 3 names, the 3 numbers. He dragged it into a folder on his desktop. He paused for a second, then renamed the file. Not bar joked JPG or silly AI PNG. He renamed it something very specific. He called it 20-year hypothesis J. Jos. A hypothesis. Something to be tested, not a joke, not a prophecy, a question. Then he closed the image and opened a fresh text document. At the top, he typed Week 1, Python Basics and Syntax. He was starting now. The decision that night wasn't about money. It was about framing. Was this new technology a toy, a threat, or a tool? Alex saw a joke and ordered another beer. Bailey saw a puzzle and confirmed his existing worldview. Casey saw a signpost and took the first step. I didn't see any of them for a few weeks after that. But the next time I saw Casey, something was different. He seemed more focused. He mentioned he'd automated a small, tedious part of his job, copying numbers for a weekly report. It used to take him 2 hours. Now it took 10 seconds. He had just created an extra 2 hours of free time at work every single week, invisible to management. What he would do with that time would become the real story. He wasn't just working faster, he was creating assets. 104 extra hours a year. A hidden dividend from a single moment of curiosity in a bar. And Alex? He had just unlocked a new cosmetic skin for his game character. It cost him $7 and 2 hours of grinding. Bailey had just finished balancing his budget to the penny. He was perfectly on track, perfectly average, perfectly safe. For now. Casey had found his answer, and with his newfound 104 hours a year, he could either consume more information or build new skills. Next time, learning versus scrolling.